Brodia is home to some of my favorite characters, including Diamant, Alcris, and Yunaka. However, is it possible for me to beat Fire Emblem Engage with just Brodian units? The rules for this challenge are simple. Only Brodia units can attack along with Alear. However, other units can support Alear until I recruit the first Brodia unit. DLC also can't be used until Chapter 11, with the respective game they come from. I decided to play on normal as manning is really difficult for Alear to even reach the first Brodia units because of Chapter 4, and hard mode is just a bit too much for a casual player like me.
This is part 4 of my Brodia run, where I go through chapters 18 to 20, along with most of the Emblems paralogs.
Now without further ado, let's see if I can beat Fire Emblem Engage with just Brodia units. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content.
In chapter 18, Elysian ships attacked my ship, prompting me to defeat the boss. I went and dealt with the left side first because they had a chest. After I finished clearing the left side, Linden boarded my ship and I ended up killing him with Diamant. I then rushed to kill the boss and ended the chapter. In chapter 19, we docked on a port and we can finally recruit our last member, Saphir. She's not much of a guard, as the moment I recruit her, I move her away from the enemies, as she is unable to tank a lot of hits. I try to bait Mavier's army, but Mavier and the enemies on the bottom force me to back up into a choke point. I then use Yunaka to dodge and Diamant to tank the choke point to where I can attack again, having Citrine deal the final blow to Mavier. I bait Marnie with Yunaka and launch an all-out attack, ending her with Lapis, clearing the chapter. In Ike's paralogue, I decide to give Citrine Sigurd's ring and Saphir's Micaiah's ring as a test. I rush my army to the left side to defeat Ike as fast as possible. I use Lapis to hold off the flank from the right and the bottom of the map. I also use Saphir as much as I can to hopefully get her level up as much as I can so she can match with the rest of the team. I bait Ike into my army and ended him with the Houses Unite plus Engage attack. In Violet's paralogue, I swapped Citrine to have Micaiah's ring and Saphir to have Sigurd's ring, as the combination worked better instead of the other way around. I then split my army to both the left and right side. I progressed through the chapter and defeated enemies that were going to destroy the crystals. I leave Lapis and Jade in the middle to defend against the warped enemies that attack the crystals. I then surround Violet and defeat him with Saphir. In Erica's paralogue, I moved my army into the middle of the map to deal with the enemies quicker. I then split my army to the left and right side of the map in hopes to get the items in the chest. I accidentally placed my army too close to Erica's range and she went in range on the right side of the map. I danced my units on the left to help the units on the right and defeat her using quadruple hit. Chapter 20 is a Fog of War map where Gris can teleport anywhere on the map. I use Yunaka to find out where Gris is and take one of his HP bars with Amber. I then split my army to the left and right side of the map. I slowly progress to the boss and get the items in the chest. I use Alear to bait Gris to the middle and attack him with my army, ending him with Citrine. In Sigurd's paralogue, I made sure I didn't get overwhelmed by the army. Most of the enemies can attack from 1 to 2 range, and with my limited number of units that can attack from 1 to 2 range, and units that have low res makes this map a challenge for me. I use Yunaka to take the forward while using everyone else to bait the enemies to the bottom of the map, where I can defeat the enemies slowly. I defeated one of the bosses in the corner with an additional HP bar, but I could not defeat the other one as any of the attacks can defeat my units with ease. I decided to focus on Sigurd's army instead, and Sigurd rushed into my army, allowing me to make a quick work of him with Amber. Leaf's paralogue is really hard for me because of the number of enemies I have to face along with the ballistas. My first run I ended up dying to a ballista, causing a reset. In my second run, I decided my plan was to use up all of the ballista's attacks, and then start approaching. Once a unit gets hit, I heal them with Citrine and slowly approach, and killing any enemies that come up to me. Once I got to the bridge, I was bombarded with attacks, causing Amber to die. However, because I was already so far into the game with Amber, I decided to divine hit back to life. This map was a literal hell for me because my units almost die every time they get hit by a ballista. I was able to get in range for Leaf to approach my army and led him to the bridge. I slowly chipped him until he was low enough where I can use Amber to get revenge on Leaf for causing him his death. Micaiah's Paralogue was a breather for me as it was not a hard chapter and I had just been Leaf's Paralogue. The objective was to defend the castle, but I decided to do the opposite and went full offense towards Micaiah's army. I defeated her whole army, leaving Micaiah to fight by herself, and she gets defeated by Yunaka. I then decide to promote Saphir to Griffin Knight to help provide my army a second healer and give her more movement. This is the end of part 4 of my Brodia run. In the next video I will go through chapters 21 and 26 and end the game. Please like and subscribe for more Fire Emblem Engage content.